questions for Coach Jake.
Coach, it seemed that for a long time in that game it was hard for either team to get much going in the paint, but Jake made a concerted effort, got to the line, and it seemed like everything kind of started going your way once you had that going in addition to the jumpers.
Yeah, the first half, that was an important stretch for us, was to get Jake going. And he was able to get some points on the board, did a nice job of making some plays. And, because we didn't have, prior to that, we didn't have a lot going offensively. And Jake had a nice 7-8 minutes to finish the half. We got to the free throw line, got some points on the board, so we were able to go in at halftime tied. We had the 6-point lead, but we got to halftime, down one, so you're in possession. And I thought Drake played well in the first half, and I thought they played well for the game. But to be down one at halftime was because Jake made some plays inside.
What were the mid-game adjustments on Rice that he made defensively?
We didn't. I guess we didn't make any at halftime. The ones we made when we went and trapped him a couple times, that was, I suppose, around the 7-8 minute mark of the second half when we made that adjustment to run a second guy at him. He's hard enough to play against when he isn't making jump shots. And tonight, he was making some jump shots. And when he's doing that, he's really hard to stop. He does a great job of getting to the basket, great job of getting fouled, getting to the free throw line. He's just hard to play against. So we made the decision in that adjustment around that 8-minute mark to just go trap him and get it out of his hands. And when you're forced to do that, the guy's playing pretty good.
Talk about Anthony James' sport there. One side particularly for 3 and just went out. He just looked like he just took over for a little while.
Yeah, he was good all night. That stretch we were able to get some stops, and he kept scoring for us. So he carried us through that period of time and helped us get that lead. But what I would tell you is he was locked in all 40 minutes defensively. He was talking, he was leading, he was doing everything else. And we need him to score. We needed him to score tonight. But his value to our team is he's got a lot more to his game than his ability to just make that jump shot. And he did a great job tonight of leading and providing support and encouragement for his teammates. That was he had a great night.
Were you drawing things up for him at that point when you saw how he was playing?
Yeah, there's a handful of actions that we ran for him to run him off some screens, and then once he got going and we felt like we got the maybe the right situations, we just went to the ball screen stuff and he made good reads. He either got himself something or he got it back to Jake, and he does a good job in that situation with the ball screen.
How important was, I think you really contained Simons. He had a late 3 once you were up double digits, but I mean 8 points to that point. Can you talk about that effort?
Yeah, and he had to sit in the first half with 2 fouls, and that a little bit that helped us, of course. But I think that one of the challenges that you have when you play Drake is that Simons and Rice can both do what Rice did tonight at the same time, right? I mean that's the real challenge. And the rest of the team has played well, but when there's 2 guys that can get 25 on the same night, that's a real challenge. And we had to work like crazy to just make things tough.
Coach, in these in-state games you played this season, you talked about how young this team is, yet in all of them, you're even midway through the game, and it seems like your team has the most composure going down the stretch. You kind of impressed that for a young group, they seem to be pretty composed in these emotional games like this?
Well, I like the leadership. Johnny's been through this, Jake's been through this, AJ, Mark, Austin Peel, those guys have been through this. And 4 of those 5 guys have played in these situations either a lot last year or over the course of the last 2 years. And I think that's where that comes from, is their leadership, and they stay together, they continue to trust each other, and continue to have a confidence that we'll make the right play. And I think that comes mostly from those upperclassmen.
Coach, you have Creighton and Missouri State next week. How pivotal is it for your team going into next week?
Yeah, the thing I would tell you is we've had a couple of really good practices, and we've played very well. Even tonight when the game was tied in the second half, I felt great about how we were playing, because the guys were competing hard, they were talking, they were supporting each other, and I felt great about the way we were playing. And that for us right now is the most important thing. we get home, have good preparation, have a great workout on Monday before we leave, and then go play as hard as we can and make sure we support each other, and we'll see what happens Tuesday.
What's been a difference for the team the last two Valley games opposed to the first two, and of course that 3-game streak?
You know, I think attention to detail might be the best way I can put it, with a number of different things. Some things on offense, some things on defense, some things not to do with either one of them. Just their overall attention to detail and locking into each other, locking into doing things the right way. That's been the biggest difference.
One more for Jake.
You only shot 8 3-pointers. I think that's by far a season low for you. I guess what were you able to do to get the ball inside more?
Yeah, a little bit of a different game. Drake really came out on the floor, and they were pressed up all the way out, 25 feet, 28 feet. They were really pressed up, and so we wanted to get on their hip and turn the corner and see if we could create some offense going to the basket. And then some touches with Jake on the block. Felt like that was something that could work for us. And in the second half, the way AJ had it going, a lot of his stuff ended up inside the 3-point line.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.